Welcome back, you guys, to RPOs and RBIs. Busy day, opening day for baseball. The opening day, big day for all the teams. Our Atlanta Braves got the dub over the Nationals today, 7-2. Travis d'Arnaud went off, 4 for 5. I feel like really everyone on offense had a good game, besides the new addition and Sean Murphy. 0 for 5, struck out a couple times, double play. But even Orlando Arcia, there's been a lot of controversy around him. He went out and he played well.
Mhm.
Defense was kind of iffy early. He had guys letting pop-ups drop, which
Yeah.
wasn't a fan of. Max Fried had to come out of the game early due to hamstring discomfort. Probably gonna hit the IL. So that's unfortunate. But overall, great game from the squad, and we're gonna get to watch Spencer Strider pitch on Saturday, April 1st. So by the time you're listening to this, you will have seen that game. Um, which I will address. Yeah, we're behind on the podcast uploads. We have lives besides this,
Yeah.
but we do appreciate everyone for listening, watching. We kind of came back unannounced, so we really do appreciate you um, and your support. So let's get into more baseball for now. So obviously, there were some good games that went on today. We were just talking about the Rangers and the Phillies before we started the podcast, and that was 11-7 Rangers. Both starting pitchers for those teams looked bad, and Jacob deGrom and Aaron Nola, which are like top 10 pitchers in baseball when they're on.
hmm
So it's like with baseball, every year can be different. You can go from being the Cy Young one year to being absolutely horrible the next. I mean,
Yeah.
Patrick Corbin, the guy that we faced today, he was one of the best pitchers. I wouldn't say best, maybe best in
Well,
like his division or league. Just in 2019 when they won the World Series. But then since then, his ERA has been up at like 5.5.
yeah.
So really anything can happen in baseball. Um, new faces and new places. Dansby drove in his first run, went 3 for 4 with the Cubs today. It's a tough sight for us.
hmm
Obviously, miss him. Arcia did step up, but
Yeah.
it's not what you like to see out of someone
It's
who
it's it's not the same.
claims to be an Atlanta lifer.
Right.
But
See, it's a
I
big,
understand
but
why he did what he did.
yeah.
I'd be getting the bag too.
Yeah,
So no
for
hate.
sure.
More news from around the league. Aaron Judge, first pitch he sees, picks up where he left off, hits a tank. Yankees fans are going crazy, thinking that they're going to win number 28, when realistically, they're not.
They always start like this.
Yeah, they have a really good pitching staff this year. I'll give them that. Between Garrett Cole, Carlos Rodon, Nestor, uh,
hmm I mean, Garrett Cole alone went for 11 today,
mhm.
strikeouts. So, bro.
Yeah,
Showing some.
Logan Webb, I thought he was going to be off to a rough start after giving up the home run, but
hmm
he settled in. He had 12 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Another guy in the new spot, Pablo Lopez, who was traded to the Twins, he had 8 strikeouts eight strikeouts, no earned runs, and 5 in the third. Given they were playing the Royals, so it's like a layup,
Yeah.
but still great game. And then O'Neal Cruz, he hit his first of the year,
hmm
giving Pirates fans something to be hopeful about. And he hit it off 100 green too. It was a 101 mile an hour fastball, and he
Yeah.
pulls it to right field. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And we got what is it?
Yeah, Astros White Sox going on
Astros White
right
Sox
now.
right now. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Top
White
nine.
Sox, they literally just put on 2 runs in the top of the ninth to give
Yeah.
themselves a 3-1 lead.
Yeah. Yeah. And all homers. Yeah. How old is he? Jeez.
Grandal, he's got to be like 35, 36.
Yeah.
But
Dylan Cease for 10 strikeouts though. That's I mean that's big.
oh yeah, I mean the Astros had Framber going. I mean he
Yeah.
went five, no runs allowed. Presley came in. He gave up the home run.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not like him.
Mhm.
See, personally, if it was me, I wouldn't have someone in my bullpen whose last name is Bummer. Um, puts you on top 10 biggest bums in baseball.
Well, yeah, what a bummer.
Yeah, but kind of circling back to just the league in general. Um, we gave our predictions for sleeper teams a few weeks ago. So now that opening day has happened, I say we give early just World Series pick. Who do you got from AL, NL, and who do you have coming out on top?
Um, well, the Orioles put up. I mean,
Yeah,
what? How many did they score?
10.
10. Yeah, with a win.
Given it was the Red Sox, but
I, I don't care. I mean, they hit the ball. I think I talked about the Orioles. I did this.
mhm.
I still see them as I guess a sleeper. If I'm gonna pick favorites, I'm still gonna take the Astros. I think. Um, they're just. I still think they're like maybe like I don't know if the Yankees are going to be like you said with their pitching and everything, but with I don't think they can still get over that hump with the Astros like they did like with whatever last year with still just them neck and neck. And I said it then too. Like I still don't think the Yankees are on the level of the Astros.
Mhm.
Astros they didn't get any better pitching wise, did they? If anything, they got worse.
Yeah, I mean they lost Verlander, so
Yeah,
that was
well, yeah,
a pretty big blow. I
yeah.
40, but
Didn't he get hurt already today too?
yeah, I think he
Yeah.
strained something. So,
Nah,
but
I'm still gonna take the Astros at least in the AL. Um, to come up, but I'm still gonna go with Baltimore as my sleeper. And then the NL, I'm taking the Braves.
I think it. Yeah, I do think it's hard not to. I mean,
Yeah,
Paul's biased, but I mean, you look at us. You can argue like, yeah, we lost our shortstop. Um,
yeah,
but other than that, I mean, well, we lose Kenley Jansen. Yeah, he
right.
wasn't very good. We gained.
He was
He
pretty good.
he had his days.
Yeah, but
We gain a top three catcher in baseball.
mm,
I mean, obviously he didn't do well today, but he will
yeah,
bounce back. He'll hit for 250 at
mhm,
least and give us some home runs. Um, but I mean, pitching outstanding. We have some Cy Young candidates and Freed, Strider, Wright, if they can all stay healthy.
yeah,
Morton, he's old, but he's reliable. And then for the fifth starting spot, Schuster and Dodd. I got to
yeah.
watch. I got to watch Dylan Dodd pitch against the Dominican team, and I mean he did great work for a few innings. So I
He
mean
didn't make the roster, did he? Like he's not. I mean, I saw
he's
the.
not on it now, but he's gonna get called up when it's his time to start.
Okay.
They have an extra reliever to like
Okay.
just for the time being.
Yeah.
So
No.
I got Braves coming out of the NL as well. Only other
Mhm.
team that I would say two teams. I'll give my respects to the Phillies just because I think that as a team, the only problem is they don't have Harper. So I think first
Yeah.
half they could struggle a little bit. But I mean when he comes back, the combination of Harper, Turner, Real Muto, Hoskins is out for the season too though, which that was a
Yeah.
big blow.
See, that's what. Yeah, I've seen a lot. I mean, I've seen even when people are doing predictions and stuff, putting the Phillies third. Um, in the division.
I see them second. I don't think the Mets will do as well. I think
Right.
last season was extremely a lot of things went their way. Um, so I mean Diaz is out.
Right.
Verlander's already dealing with injuries.
Mhm.
Scherzer, he's up there in age. They're relying on a guy from Japan, Kodai Senga.
Right.
So I got Braves, Phillies, Mets in our division, and
Mhm.
then poor Marlins and Nationals.
I mean, I don't mind the Marlins though. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
think they got
they're
better.
they're a team that I've kind of been weary of the past few
Mhm.
years because they have
Mhm.
really good pitching starting wise. I think bullpen is still a weakness.
It is, yeah.
Roster is slowly getting better though.
I just think like their defense is just like I've seen
Yeah.
I just put up their roster, but like it's a bunch of guys that just can't move. Like you got Yuli Gurriel, um, Arias, Gene Segura, I guess, but they have him at third.
Mhm.
Like, okay.
I do want to bring up that since we talked about that game, Jordan Alvarez has hit a home run to make it
Yeah, I was
3-2.
I was gonna say.
440. He he is my pick for AL MVP this year.
Yeah.
I mean, he is the best pure hitter in the game right now, no doubt to me. He was also
Yeah.
my favorite MLB The Show card last year for Diamond Dynasty. But I'm gonna go with okay, I talked about the Phillies. Padres are the only other team besides Braves and Phillies who I think will compete for that World Series
Hmm.
spot for the NL. AL, I think Houston is a pretty clear-cut favorite for me, but I think the Blue Jays have a chance just because it for me it relies on Jose Barrios because they have
Yeah.
Manoah, they have Gosman. If Jose Barrios can, have a bounce back year, I mean, he pitched horribly last year. No way to
Yeah.
sugarcoat it. If he can bounce back and give him that third solid starter,
Yeah.
they have the lineup to do some damage. Along with
No
the
doubt.
Mariners. Mariners are another team. They're not going to win their division, but they'll be in the playoffs.
Mm.
So I didn't really give a clear cut answer. My answer right now, I think, would be Astros and Braves.
Yeah. It's the same to me. That's I guess sure it's opening day. We're just gonna go with what we see last year, but
Yeah.
I mean, to me, there's still again with the NL. There's not really any more competition. I don't see, um, unless someone does pull a Phillies like the last year and just
Mhm.
come out of nowhere,
Yeah.
which there always is. But
Yeah.
no,
I
like
mean,
clear
if
cut competition. It'll be Padres and Braves to me. Yeah, the Padres look the most, I guess, like ready to take on whatever. But I think the Braves without a doubt.
uh, time to swing on over into the football world. But first, let's get a word from our sponsor. I shouted him out before. My dad. It's official now. Vacations by Jim. If you're in the market for a vacation, go over to Facebook, Instagram. Vacations by Jim. It's the username. Website is www.vacationsbyjim.com. He'll hook you up with an amazing vacation. Whether you want to go on a cruise, you want to go to Mexico to go to a resort, he charges no additional fee. The fee that would normally be going to the resort or the cruise line, it just goes to him instead, and he's going to hook you up. He's going to get you some perks on board or at the resort so you can have the best vacation possible. So shout out Vacations by Jim, no free shout outs. So with that being said, shout out, no free shout out of the week. And I honestly didn't really think about it much coming in, but
Mhm.
okay, my shout out, every shout out of the week is going to Fried Chicken Thursdays here at Kennesaw State University. I do not know what they're putting in there, but it is addicting. I'm seasoning today, spot on. Tasted the pepper in there, tasted a little bit of salt. It tasted like they put a little bit of Cajun seasoning in there. Tasted like I was down south in Nolans, Louisiana.
Mhm.
No. So, I mean, it just hits when you get a good piece of fried chicken, nice
Yeah.
crunch outside, and I mean not too seasoned, but I like mine seasoned. So shout out fried chicken.
Yeah. All right, mine, bit out of the ordinary, but I hinted you to this earlier. Shout out, no free shout out goes to my first ever pair of cowboy boots. I had to cop some going to the Luke Combs concert in about 16 days. Um, couldn't be out of the loop. There's nothing like putting on a good fresh pair. If you've never had, if you don't have this yet, you have to get some. Seriously, like bit of a few scuffs on him, but
And
it can't be brand new.
yeah, if you're rolling up to the concert wearing brand new boots, they know
Everyone
you're
knows.
not real.
Exactly. Yeah. So nothing like a good. I mean, out of the box.
Yeah, yeah. Luke Combs concert, you're gonna be pulling out Columbia fishing shirt,
Oh,
jeans,
absolutely.
solo cup in hand, nothing in it, solo cup in hand, and then
Mhm.
scuffed up boots. I mean, that's
Yep. Yep.
how
Gotta
you
gotta
go
throw
out.
on gotta throw on the trucker too. Yeah.
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 No. So hopping
Maybe I'll
in,
put on a couple extra pounds too.
you gotta get the beer belly going on, even though you're 16.
Ah.
Fake beer belly. Man, there's no really good way for me to transition from Luke Combs into football. So, you know what else is from? He's not even from Nashville. Man, you know who else likes football?
Yeah.
So, we're gonna go over a little bit of draft stuff today. Obviously,
Yep.
we got 4 weeks to the day until draft night. Exciting time of year. We got pro days going on. And I wanted to cover a little bit a mock draft that came out. I don't know if you saw it or not, by a guy with the name of Mike Tannenbaum. Quite possibly might have been the worst mock draft I've ever seen. So we got our first two picks right here. Panthers, Bryce Young, to Houston, CJ Stroud. No, nobody's arguing with that. Three, Will Anderson to the Cardinals. No complaints. Four starts to get a little fishy. I mean, I
Hold on,
mean,
let me pull this up too so I can look at it while you're talking
it's
about
it's not
it.
it's not horrible. Will Levis to the Colts. I'd love the pick personally. I would love it for the Colts
Oh, I
because
mean, yeah,
if we get to see Will Levis 2 times a year, sign me up. And then you scroll down to number five, and I want to break something out real quick. You know, I had this on standby, and I want this to be a symbol that I love him.
Oh
But there
no.
is no way that a 25-year-old coming off of an ACL tear is
No
going
way.
and hit. He says, this one might raise some eyebrows, but hear me out. This is how you know this is going to be one of the worst mock drafts I've ever seen in my life. I think Hooker is really underscouted right now,
Yeah,
largely
yeah.
because he's coming off of a torn ACL. I don't think he brings up his age his
No, he
entire.
doesn't. He all he says is he just loves his strong arm and his 6'3" frame.
Here's the thing. I love Hendon Hooker. I think that he could go. I think third round is pretty accurate for him. I think a team might get him in the second because
Mhm.
he is very talented.
Yeah.
But I mean, he does need time to recover from the ACL. He does need a little bit of seasoning, I would say. I think he's pretty accurate, but I think working with a veteran guy, I do think that Seattle would be a good spot for him. Geno Smith, that is my
Yeah.
NFL pro comparison to
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no better spot or no better player to put him behind. That I mean that is I was about like it does make total sense to put him behind Gino.
him.
But
You gotta teach him how to not write back.
yeah, yeah, I mean, but not at 5. Like, I'm writing back. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, but that is that's out of this world.
Yeah. And then it's pretty good after that. You know, Tyree Wilson. I've done my research on him.
Mhm.
Good pick. Christian Gonzalez. I haven't. I've been doing a little bit of scouting through positions. I haven't gotten to corners yet, so
I've seen a couple of things on him. My boy Theo on TikTok does a lot of guys about or a lot of scouting reports on guys, just a whole bunch of film. Christian Gonzalez, not the number one corner in the class rank wise, but definitely could make a strong argument for it. I mean, right now it's Witherspoon from Indiana, but I could totally see or Illinois, sorry, but I could totally see Gonzalez being taken. Maybe not at 7. That's a little high, but he's really really quick and he shuts down like I mean his hips move the way everything. I mean he's really great. Um, yeah, I do think they'll go corner though. Just I don't think they'll go Gonzalez. I think they'll go Witherspoon. But this keeps going with like
yeah. And so number 11 Tennessee Titans,
yeah.
Anthony Richardson from Florida. Here's the thing. I honestly would like that.
Mhm.
I think if he falls to 11, my only issue is that we have to move Tannehill at that point. But
Right.
I think it would have to be a draft day trade,
Right.
or
But
they're
but
gonna
think about it no, think about it this way. Like if Richardson is sitting there at 11, we have to take him. Like we have to because here's
I
the thing.
would say yes, but you got to think Jalen Carter has not been selected right now.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. But what I'm saying is you've got a guy like Richardson sitting there.
Hmm.
You could then be like, okay, let's get Tannehill out of here. Let's like trade him after that pick for if you can get a second for him, get the second, right? If you get that third, fine, you can get the third and then move picks around. And then if you want to, we can still get a receiver. There's so many receivers in this class that could
Yeah,
totally. That's my thing is we can pass on Quentin Johnson and pass on JSN, or and even Addison if he's there. And if Richardson's sitting there, sure, take him. Um, and then move Tannehill, right? So yeah, it's gonna be okay. Well, if he's there, that's what it comes down to is if he's there. But if he is there, it's gonna be like, okay, what do we value here?
mhm.
Do we just stay and take a receiver or take a tackle or we take and I mean or if Richardson's still sitting there, 100%, I think the high likely thing is we're gonna trade back because someone wants that. Someone wants him at 11.
I mean, I'm looking at teams behind us. I'm seeing a team that sticks out to me is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah, they
Yeah.
signed Baker Mayfield, and I'm not a Baker hater by any means. I kind of wanted to come to Tennessee just to kind of
Mhm.
fill a bridge because I thought
Mhm.
they were just gonna get rid of Tannehill.
Right.
But I think that Richardson could kind of give them a new kind of a new era after Brady.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't mind. I wouldn't mind that, especially. I mean, obviously Houston's not going to go. The Jets aren't going to go. The Pats aren't going to go. The
mhm.
Packers maybe could trade up, but what are they going to trade? I don't think they have any draft stock. The
I think
Commanders
they're
are a team.
yeah, I think that those two are two teams that are just gonna like try and stick with what they got for this year. And if
Yeah,
they don't work out, they're gonna go after Williams,
right.
Drake May,
Yeah.
one of those guys.
I mean, even Detroit, like they could 100% move on from golf. I mean, I doubt it. I mean, I
Yeah.
haven't seen anything about them moving on, but I mean, if it's there, it's there. But yeah, the Bucks could totally be a thing, unless they're just content with sticking with what they got for now and just kind of moving along, which I do kind of better. And in this mock at 19, they have him taking Bijan. I mean, Bijan to me is the better pick at night if he's there at 19, which he probably will be.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, 11 is interesting for us. That it's an odd spot because it's like no one wants to trade up until it's the pick is happening, which you do see a lot during the draft. In those
Yeah.
10, 11, 12 picks, those always get moved. Um, not that we're going to, but it's a trend. So we'll see. Um, I'm happy with whatever. If they decide to take a quarterback there, they take a quarterback. If we trade back, we trade back. I'll be happy with whatever happens because at this point, it's whatever they want to do. I mean, obviously they see it, and they've made us happy so far in free agency. So just keep going with what you're doing, and then we'll judge you from there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All right. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take uh our consensus top three guys, quarterbacks of this draft, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, and Anthony Richardson. We're gonna say where we think they should go
Mhm.
and where they think they will go. So obviously teams that are up for quarterbacks now are Panthers, Texans, Colts, us potentially.
Yeah.
So personally, I think um, where he will and should go is Bryce Young to the Carolina Panthers. I think that yes, size might be an issue, but I don't think you can make the argument for CJ Stroud that he's better than Bryce Young. I mean, he's a great improviser. I think he's Kyler Murray, but way more accurate.
I think okay. So my QB1 is CJ Stroud. Um, think he will go to the Panthers at 1, which okay, I think he should go to the Panthers at 1. I think in the end, yes, he will go to the Panthers at 1 because there's a lot more pointing to him going there than there's not. But I would not be surprised to see them take Bryce Young.
Mhm.
But I've seen all the stuff with Josh McCown. I've seen all the stuff with Frank Reich. They love CJ Stroud. They also love Anthony Richardson. I haven't seen anything about Bryce Young. So is that a tactic? Maybe.
Yeah.
But CJ Stroud is quarterback 1 for me. He's going number 1. It is a size thing for me. I know Kyler Murray's obviously been a productive quarterback. I'm not one to hate on any short quarterback. So that's not my issue. It is just he is bigger
Yeah.
quarterback is easier to work with. Restart your franchise. Bringing in a guy like Bryce Young to me is just I don't know what it is about him. It's like an uneasy. Like I've watched Alabama a lot this year. It's just a I don't know factor in with him.
Mhm.
To me, Stroud sets a lot more of a okay. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna throw the ball. I'm gonna rope it in. We're gonna move along. And yeah, there is a lower floor with Stroud than there is with Bryce.
Mhm.
But I think the ceiling is much higher in my opinion with Stroud than there is with Young. But I guess my 2 is Bryce Young.
Yeah.
And I do think he'll go to the Texans. I think the Texans fits him better than Carolina does. So that's where I think that's where he should go 100%. I think that's where he will go eventually. Just because I mean for the same reasons that I just described. It's just it fits what the Texans are doing. They've got Mechie. If they want to take a receiver at 12, they can take JSN and they'd be. I mean, it's like the same style
Yeah.
offense that he do with being in Alabama. And I don't know that fits him better to me. And for the same reasons, he's quarterback 2, behind Stroud.
Yeah. I think for me, Stroud goes to the Texans. Um, for me, it was just the only reason I have Young over Stroud is just because I only saw like his Stroud's best work in that game against Georgia. Because I mean, he was really just playing like he had nothing to lose, which I feel like him being a little too conservative was kind of what shot him in the foot in college. Because like I watched the game against Michigan, and he just seemed pretty hesitant against like a good defense. But then when he came out against Georgia, who had probably the best defense this season, and he just came out fearless, started slinging the ball. They honestly might have won the game if Harrison didn't get hurt.
Right.
But yeah, so I have Stroud. I think, yeah, he has the higher floor. But for me, Richardson, I think he should go to the Colts realistically. Um, I mean, unless the Titans trade up to 3, which apparently there's rumblings that we might.
I was gonna mention that. Yeah. Yeah.
Because if that's the case, then he should go to us. Because I think Richardson easily has the lowest floor, but I think by far he has the highest ceiling. Because if he can piece together arm accuracy and just kind of a mental IQ of being knowing when to run, when to throw, um, throwing on the run. He has the tools to be like the next Josh Allen or Mahomes.
Mhm.
If he plays to his full potential, like I think he can. We've seen in games this year, so I hope to see him in Tennessee
Yeah.
if
I
they
was gonna
trade.
say like right. If we trade up and go to 3, which I have seen, I mean, just today. I don't know how true it is, but if we do trade up at 3, obviously he's going to the Titans. I think he will go to the Colts at 4. Um, and that would hurt to see, obviously, like like that would suck. But like you're saying, he has a really low floor. Where do I think he should go? I think well, I guess it's more of a fits the best with the Panthers. To me,
Yeah.
he's Cam Newton. Like a dude is like that's just. I mean, he runs like him. He's like, you got that like big like upper body build
Oh yeah.
like Cam does. I mean, like he's if anything, he's just a better Cam Newton.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna bring that up because I heard a little bit today on like NFL Live on ESPN
mhm,
that like he's just not getting talked about at number one anymore,
yeah,
and he was
yeah.
just a couple weeks ago. I feel a sneeze coming on, of course. Um, but I think if he goes one, then number two, I don't know who the Texans like more of Stroud or Young.
Yeah. To me, it's still to me it's Young at 2, which then shakes everything up.
Because then I got to think that Colts are on the phone trying to
A
move up to
100%.
three, so no one can
100%.
take it.
A
Titans would
hundred
be on
percent.
the phone because they love Stroud.
You would have with if for some reason Anthony Richardson goes 1 and then Bryce then go honestly either way, if Richardson goes 1, the
There's
Cardinals
chaos.
immediately right and yeah, because the Cardinals immediately have and even the Texans aren't going to move, but Texans and Cardinals, they're going to have the Colts on the phone. The Seahawks could even call up. Then you're going to have
Titans
the
probably.
Titans for sure. The Pats could even make a move. Who knows what Belichick would do? You're going to have. I mean, it's going to cause like, oh my god, like I don't know.
Shoot,
Even
Jets
if
haven't
Stroud
gotten
is sitting,
Rodgers yet.
hmm?
Jets haven't gotten
Oh
Rodgers
yeah,
yet.
oh yeah. Could you imagine, dude? Like, oh, if you just see like Jets to 3, like,
Packers
hey,
fans would start like crying.
oh yeah, like, oh my gosh, that would be by far the best draft. Um,
Um,
that I know, yeah. If the Panthers do go Richardson, which I still think there's a good chance they do, like, I don't see why. I mean, I'm pretty sure not even a week ago he had like the highest odds to go 1.
mhm.
Um, so to me, it's still not even out of the question.
Um,
Um, but yeah, I think from Richardson's standpoint, he fits the best in Carolina. Just with how Frank Reich has always built his quarterbacks. It's a little bit different just because he's more, I mean, he moves and all that stuff, but
yeah,
I
Frank
don't know.
Reich's typically a white quarterback guy,
Yeah,
so
like
yeah, a little
Peyton
bit.
Manning.
We might
Yeah.
see Levis go one, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Oh my, yeah.
Because I mean, Colts, I mean, they got the offensive coordinator from Philly, so I think
Mhm.
he's gonna want a guy like Richardson or Young or
Or
even
Bryce. Yeah.
Stroud.
Yeah.
So I mean, Hendon Hooker might be on the table. Stetson Bennett.
Stetson
Uh,
Bennett at 3 would not be straight up for Stetson.
all
We just wanted
right,
to be sure. We just wanted to be sure.
all right. We appreciate you guys for listening to this one. Um, you guys, by the time this one comes out, you'll have heard the one that we recorded about a week and a half ago.
Mhm.
Again, sorry for the delay, but stuff gets in the way. Most of the time we're recording these and then we have to go somewhere right after.
Yeah.
Uh, I, I'm about to go to bed, so uh, but we appreciate you listening. If you're listening on Spotify, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, like, comment, questions. And if you're listening, head over to YouTube. Better to see our faces. Well, I hope. So if not, stay on Spotify.
Sorry.
So with that
Yeah.
being said, I'm Nathan. That's Talon, and peace out.